We are back with another video. Before we get into the video, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. A lot of people are starting to wake up in regards to how Cardi B has been getting away with bullying certain female rappers and certain individuals, mostly women, in the entertainment business. Fans have been calling out the fact that Scratch Off has been getting bullied on social media. One of Cardi B's victims, not the only one. And everybody is now saying pussy as LATT0 all over social media as a joke because Cardi B was exposed for talking shit about Scratch Off when she found out that Scratch Off made amends with Ice Spice and she doesn't like Ice Spice because Ice Spice dissed her in a song. A fan said, IDK, maybe I'm too sensitive, but I feel bad for Scratch Off. I know it's a joke, but she just had a baby and the whole internet is dragging her off something someone she thought was her friend said. And then a fan also responded, said, no, for real. Like, low-key, that's what she gets for teaming up with Cardi out of spite. But at the same time, Cardi is disgusting and cannot be trusted. If the phone call had never leaked, she would have acted like it never happened. Yikes. And another fan said, honestly, this is her karma. Now, in my opinion, I'm probably more in the middle. Even though I think Cardi B was wrong for calling Scratch Off a pussy, I also don't really fully sympathize with Scratch Off because she tried to do the same thing to Nicki Minaj with the super freaky grandma. Okay? And she tried to put a narrative on Nicki Minaj because of who Nicki Minaj married. Mind you, she was working with Dr. Puke and he Ard Kesha. So at the end of the day, I feel like Scratch Off is a walking contradiction and both Cardi B and Scratch Off are receiving their karma because at the end of the day, they only linked up and started working together because of their hatred towards Nicki Minaj. Yes, Scratch Off was in the WAP music video. But Cardi B and Scratch Off did not start working together musically until Scratch Off called Nicki Minaj out. So again, this is their karma. You know, Scratch Off, she leaked Nicki Minaj's text messages and DMs. And now your friend, someone who you thought was your friend, has been exposed on a leak call calling you a pussy. And I can bet you 100% that that's how Cardi B really felt. It don't matter if she was pregnant and emotional. She's always emotional. She's always yelling and screaming, acting a fool. She called herself slow a few days ago on, Spaces. So she's always been like that. She did not like that Ice Spice and Scratch Off became cool. She didn't like that because she got beef with Ice Spice. She's what everybody accuses Nicki Minaj of. She's that. She's the mean girl that doesn't like female rap unity. Now, Doja Cat is pandering to the black community because her music is flopping. She was on stream and she said that Pusha T and Pharrell have looked the same for 100 years and wonders what they're eating. Pusha T do look good. I will give him that. He's like 50. And Pharrell has been aging backwards for the last 20, 30 years. Then she said Morris Chestnut is beautiful. Now, some fans are saying that she's pandering to the black community because, her music is flopping. Because let's just be honest. Doja Cat don't entertain or date black men. But now all of a sudden, Morris Chestnut is beautiful and you want to know what Pharrell and Pusha T are eating? Interesting. It seems like she's pandering, in my opinion, because at the end of the day, she needs black men to support her music like they supported Glorilla at one moment in time. You saw LeBron and several other male celebrities support Glorilla and help her get a hit. Also, she got that Rihanna cosign. But with that being said, Doja Cat doesn't really have a lot of black men that are supporting her music because she mostly entertains the Caucasians, okay, in the racist group chats. So it seems as though, she needs to get back in the good graces for the hip-hop male population. And I don't want to hear, mostly her fans are women. That's not necessarily true. There's a lot of men, whether they're straight or not, that support Doja Cat. But it has been evident throughout the years that she doesn't support black men like they probably have supported her. Now, moving on from that, Ira Star Girl sets a new record for the most #1 Apple Music entries by an album from a female African artist in 2026, topping the charts in 10 countries. It surpasses Tyla's A-Pop, which reached #1 in 6 countries. Now, let me know how y'all feel about that. Is Ira gonna be bigger than Tyla? And do you guys think that her album was better than Tyla's album, A-Pop? In my opinion, I feel like they still in the same boat. I feel like they're not bigger than each other. I don't think Ira Star has really a mainstream hit on the album. I'm going to go back and listen to the album, but I don't think she does. And That Girl by Tyla, even though I've been streaming it, a lot of people are not checking for Tyla because they feel like she got a nasty attitude. That's what I keep seeing on social media. I'm not supporting Tyla because she got a nasty attitude. She's cocky. She be sneak dissing Rihanna. They don't like that. Tyla got to fix her attitude and realize that being likable is a little bit more important than having talent. Ira Star is likable. So, she's bound to one day get a hit and then unfortunately surpass you. That can end up happening. Now, moving on from that, Beyonce and Camel Faye's Morning Puke remix has missed the Billboard Hot 100 chart. The track is currently charting absolutely nowhere in the world. Not iTunes, not Apple, not Spotify, not even the periodic table. It pulled less than 1 million streams during the tracking week, marking another commercial failure for the couple. Yikes. Let me know how y'all feel about that. Here's the thing. The industry and Beyonce's label, because Beyonce has Parkwood Entertainment, but Parkwood is under Columbia. The labels are over the Camel Face and Beyonce collaborations. They're not here for it. They feel like it's outdated and that Camel Face doesn't appeal to the younger generation, and that's why the song flopped. They believe if she had gotten possibly like a Kendrick, Eminem, Drake, people that still appeal to the younger generation, then the song would have charted. For the song to not be charting anywhere, that usually never happens for someone like Beyonce. Now, people can say, oh, well, the original wasn't as great because I didn't like the original, but the original charted. It went top 25, okay? And Beyonce didn't do no music video. Beyonce didn't have playlists, and Beyonce didn't put out 8 different versions like Cardi B. She didn't do that. She only put out one version, and unfortunately, people are not checking for the remix. And like I said before, Camel Face, who is 65 years old, does not appeal to the younger generation, and he needs to retire. He's trying to live out his younger days, the golden days for him, but he's way, way, way past his prime. I don't even understand why he thinks people care about what he has to say. Now, I'm okay with him, clapping back at Drake and Nicki Minaj only because they've said stuff about him. So fair is fair. But he's dragging it out now, okay, because they haven't even responded, right? So him continuing to diss, it just seems like he's beating a dead horse. I would wait for them to respond and then you respond, okay? But the thing is, Camel Face is trying to use Nicki Minaj and Drake for his album rollout. And, Nicki and Drake know that. So that's why they haven't fully responded yet. It's not because they don't really want to respond. It's because they feel like, well, he got an album coming out if we respond, we're going to boost his album sales. If we ignore him, he's not selling no albums. So there's that. Now, moving on from that, the Recording Academy is considering revamping its new Asian pop category for the 2027 Grammys, Billboard reports. Discussions about the category have been held with representatives from K-pop, J-pop, C-pop, India music, and more, including labels like Hype, over the past weeks. Let me know how y'all feel about it. Now, the Grammy producers and the voters for the Grammys are a little bit frustrated with the backlash they receive after BTS spoke out about how they should be in the regular pop categories instead of, the Grammys making an Asian pop category. They feel like it's kind of, discriminatory. And on top of that, they feel like they should be able to compete with the Arianas, the Taylors, the Weeknds, even though the Weeknd is also boycotting. But we get the gist. Like, some artists have boycotted, obviously Drake and the Weeknd being the primary two artists. And then, there's a lot of artists, despite them facing, racism or not being treated fairly, i.e. Beyonce, they still have submitted their music. There was a time where Beyonce never won Album of the Year, even though she deserved it. Like for the Lemonade album and the Beyonce album, she definitely deserved to win Album of the Year, but she got it for the country album, right? So there are artists that have had issues with the Grammys, and obviously we know Nicki's never received one despite her impact on the culture and all her hits. So it's not like, BTS is the only artist that's had issues with them, but the Grammys are a little bit frustrated with the backlash. They feel like, they tried to do the right thing and, people took it the wrong way. And, like I said before, they don't believe that BTS makes the same type of music as the Ariana Grandes, the Harry Styles, the Taylors, the Adeles, because it's gimmicky. Like I said before, BTS copy hip-hop artists, just like every other K-pop group. In my opinion, they're not original at all, and they should be lucky that they're even getting a category, because if I was on the Grammy board, they wouldn't be getting shit. Okay, if I was a Grammy producer, you wouldn't be getting shit. Nothing. Because you guys are gimmicks. You're not original. You guys copy black artists and groups that have been in the game longer than you. They copy TLC and Fifth Harmony and all the groups that have, made it to mainstream success. BTS, they sell a lot because obviously they have a big fan base, but at the end of the day, they are a gimmick. And that's what it is. And everybody knows it. But I will tell you one thing. I do feel like the industry will slowly, not tomorrow, not on Monday, but the industry will slowly turn their backs on BTS because of them complaining about the Grammys. They feel like, BTS is ungrateful. So don't be shocked if, BTS, as big as they are now, they start slowly dying out. Now, a lot of fans are speculating that Olandria and Nick are back together because he posted a red bottom shoe with a Rolex that allegedly Olandria bought him. And he was at the Four Seasons getting ready with Olandria for Jordan Wood's wedding. Okay, Jordan Wood is marrying Carl Townsend, and they were invited to the wedding. So a lot of fans are speculating that, they are getting back together. Here's my thing with Nick and Olandria. I think Olandria is getting used by Nick, in my opinion. Only reason because I feel like he always has to showcase that him and Olandria are doing something or still seeing each other instead of remaining private. The more private your relationship is, the longer it will last. When you're always showcasing your relationship, is not going to last very long. So I feel like it's kind of obvious that he feels like he benefits more from being attached to Olandria versus I don't feel like Olandria benefits more from being attached to Nick. And that's why she rarely ever acknowledges or posts Nick now. Okay, even before they broke up, she wasn't really posting him like that. So at the end of the day, I feel like Olandria doesn't need Nick. She's good on her own, but Nick needs Olandria, point blank, period. But anyway, I got some very hot tea on Perez Hilton, Selena, and her defrauding the Wonder Mind company, mental health company, on Patreon. Link will be in the description. I hope you guys have a great day.